Okay, let's take a look at the market on the fly here. I didn't get a chance to trade all day because I'm studying for some other crap. But if you manage to get stuff, then good for you. Like I said, you know, the overall market, I did suspect it would reverse over here just because that's the overall trend of the overall market. But good God, look at this drop from Trump's executive order. But you know, if we can manage to stay above this this line, then we'll be in good shape to keep going up. I'm wondering how long that'll last. But let's go through the list of stuff. I do want to go over AMD because of reasons. AMD is looking pretty solid in terms of overall investment. I didn't get a chance to thoroughly look at the report, but it does seem that there was a report, an earnings call, if you will, a conference call. I did get an alert on the yesterday for this, but I couldn't sit there and listen to it. And if I did, I probably would have thought things were doing great, especially with the, you know, I don't know anything about their earnings yet. I haven't looked at their earnings. I'm purely looking at it as a product and focused market. What are they targeting and whatnot? But whatever. But as far as technical goes, because it broke through this resistance line that I put in a while ago, this is great news that it closed above the 1156. Even closing above the whole $12 is very good psychologically. So I could foresee this going up some more into tomorrow. Good God, am I going to get it? Into tomorrow, being the next resistance line around this price. If I can get it. There we go. Oh God. So around this area, if it does manage to go over the, like let's say 1246 area, yeah, 1243, something like that. 1242 is the high. So anyway, 1242, if it does manage to close above the 1242, we'll be in pretty good shape to keep going for that momentum. Pretty excited about AMD. That's very good numbers. You know, so we're really high on the oops, not the right time frame. Yeah, you know, uptrend on the stochastics. If you look right here, that's kind of your buy signal right here. Especially with the 20 on the uptrend right here. So if you did end up buying on this buy signal, I did put this in there, then you would have made yourself, I didn't check profits, but from here to here, that's 25.44%. So on the perfect trade, or on the close of this candle, so 24.13. That's not a bad profit margin, I'll tell you what. Especially for the investment period of 1 week. Getting a return of 25% is pretty solid. Let's see. So moving on, PFE. PFE I'm just keeping an eye on. It is closing above the overall trend, or the acute trend. The overall trend, it did manage to close a few cents above that, but it didn't manage to close above yesterday's candle, which is, you know, it's not a great sign. But I'm just the fact that it is overall trending upwards, I'm going to keep a good eye on it. So we'll just have to wait and see what it does. I'm not surprised that it's been playing like this. You know, just with the way the market has been projecting. You know, there's a lot of low volatility in terms of the volatility index. So AF, I'm just going through the watch list that I set at the beginning of the week, I guess, on Sunday. So obviously I didn't set a buy signal here. I said that I'm waiting for a buy signal down here at the 1837 area. Still waiting on the development of the stochastic right here. I do want this to reach that 30 line to give us a very good and clear buy signal. That'd be fantastic. The only reason why I'm worried about this one is because of the big potential of it reversing completely and going back down to the 1415 or even meeting back up to the 1731. I mean, if it does, and oh well, it's just the only thing that's bad about this is it's trending so laterally and is becoming erratic over here. That I'm worried about what the market is going to be doing for the most part. So this is just one to keep in mind. CNX aluminum. So CNX, this one's basically on the list. You know, you've got a increasing wedge pattern right here. You know, I'm waiting for. There was an X marks the spot right here. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if there is a confirmation for the 1623 move back up to the 1624. Not much going on CNX. I did hear silver was going to be doing fantastic. So just curious on silver. Let me see if I can do a quick analysis for you on silver. So I guess we'll take a look at. Well, whatever. Just a regular New York Stock Exchange. Silver. So, yeah, kind of, sort of. It did manage to break above that. So that's some pretty solid news. If it stays above, then that'll be great. You do have this drop period right here. But the thing about silver and gold is it can get really volatile. It can drop at any moment, so you gotta have your stop losses in there. And even if you have a stop loss, it doesn't guarantee you that you'll get the stop at the price that you set it at. So you know, silver, gold, that's, you know, it can be very volatile. But right now, it is trending upward. You know, if you bought here, then good. I don't know if there's any good buy signal outside of the fact that we've got a pretty good trend line right here. Yeah. You know, so if people are playing this trend, then they would have probably noticed that, okay, it's reaching pretty close to here, and you got some people that are buying. So that could have sent it up there. I'm not aware of any news. This is the first time I'm looking at silver, to be honest. Let's take a look at the other ones that were on our watch list. FCX. FCX, you know, predicting, you know, adding, moving predictably still, because if I remember correctly, I did point out that there was a small, if you can draw a channel within a channel, so, you know, on Friday it did hit this, and I was curious to see if it would keep going up, and it did. GSAT. Oh yeah, this one I just forgot about. I think on Sunday I talked about this one. There's some very good relative volume as far as Friday. Well, it's just relatively high volume for its average. So, I was waiting to see a continuation of this. You know, on Monday I was hoping that it would just keep going up a little bit like this, reaching the high of this candle. But, you know, obviously with the market being down, I'm not surprised it did go down this much. It does seem to be reversing at the 20 exponential moving average. So the fact that it's following this one can be some good news. So that's pretty cool. Ignore this watch list. This is pretty old. Yeah. So is that one actually. What's the other one? I have a different note app for this. HK. So the recent gap up to the consolidation period, I'm just waiting for a good buying opportunity right here. On Monday, it would have been a good buying opportunity just because, I mean, look at the significance of this line. You know, you got a buy right here going back up, attempting to meet the gap down, but it seems to have retraced. If you did a Fibonacci retracement right here, it seemed to have gotten to the 50% roughly. Actually, I'm curious to see. Oops. Oh yeah, right on the 23. So it got to the 23. Did I say 50? Whatever. So anyway, it got right on the 23% retracement. So I'm not surprised. It does seem to be a significant point of reversal on many stocks. So 23.6% doing a reversal right here for the long downtrend, meeting back up to the resistance and playing in between here. So if you have, I mean, that's some pretty solid resistance, but being so close, this wedge pattern right here. I am worried about the overall direction that it's going to go through, because it can easily go up and over, or it could easily go back down and just find some support elsewhere. So that's the only bad part about this one. So it's one to monitor, because it could easily fill this region all the way up to 18 from $8. So that's double. Can be good. Could be good. NAK, another one I looked at. This one was my example for the high and tight signals. You do have the same thing going on here. You got this consolidation period, making that pundit. So I'm just waiting on that long pull. The only way to figure out how high it goes is to buy in and see how high it goes. But if you look at the MACD, it does seem like we got a little bit of a reversal right here. If we can get some a crossover on the MACD, then we might get a buying opportunity. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to just wait and see. It's pretty self-explanatory. And AKPNN. And it kind of looked like there was a head and shoulder formation here, so I'm waiting on the formation right here. I'm waiting on it to hit either this trend line or this trend line. It's most likely going to hit. It might meet some resistance right here, but it might go back down to the 13 area. And if you do play this one, I mean, you're looking at 11% in terms of a perfect trade over the course of maybe a week and a half. TTMI. TTMI, same thing, wedge pattern. I'm just waiting. We kind of got a double top, maybe a triple top right here. I'm waiting to see if there is if this consolidation period is going to break through above the 1538 for a solid momentum, for a good momentum trade. TTMI, WTI. I spoke about this one briefly, but I don't really want to go into too much detail about this one, because this one's not so much on my radar. So we'll just leave it at that. I'm just going down the list, guys. So RAD. So this one was on the list because of the recent gap down. I was waiting to see if it would find some support somewhere down here. We'll have to wait some more and see which direction it goes in. Obviously, this one's kind of off of my radar. I don't care very much for it anymore. It could easily reverse and head back up, but I'll look at it every once in a while in the morning. Today, I didn't even get a chance to look at the market. GILD. This one, like I said, may be a long potential, especially with the multi-bottom nearing the 200 EMA. I said that on Sunday and haven't had a chance to look. The 200 EMA is probably on my other window. Let's see. GILD. There it is. So we got GILD right here. Some potential right here, just because it could end up nearing the 200 EMA. With the multi-bottom, it is finding some relatively strong support, so it can head back up. But the upward trends is a good indication of that. So we'll just have to wait and see, per usual. What else was on my list? GILD. Okay, now let's look at some old ones that I had just to make sure. OZM, I talked this one up a little bit. If I can freaking OZM. OZM, I talked about this one briefly on my older watch list. I did set resistance here. I was waiting, I think around this time, I was waiting for it to hit back down here, and then waiting for a good purchasable option to come back up and meet the resistance that was met here. But it ended up finding some support here for some reason. Probably just due to some news or something, or the high volume here probably propagated this into a consolidation period of between the, oh, it's not going to tell me the price, but between a 15-cent margin. So, you know, obviously it broke through that resistance right there, and it is heading back up towards the resistance, and it would be fantastic if it came back down here and went back up, because that would just simply increase our profit margins. But since my my buy signal here, because of this high relative volume, I said maybe tomorrow, depending on the development of the candle, it would be a good purchasable time to buy. But it seems as though it's consolidating just around the 20 EMA, so that's probably what the traders are simply looking at. Yeah, so I'm curious about tomorrow to see if it just comes here. But if the next candle is positive, and it's a a positively trending candle, like say got a full candlestick with no top wick or something, that would be a very bullish indication that it would keep going up, and I would probably consider purchasing some shares in here, especially at this price. We can get some okay volatility out of that. Not too much, but some okay volatility. What was another one that I had? I think VAV. Is it VAV? I think it was, yeah. This is on my the Fidelity account, so I'm trying to remember. So yeah, so VAV, got some good stuff going on here. Consolidation wedge pattern here going on, and this is pretty erratic, and that's probably why I haven't looked at it in a while. I just don't like gap ups and gap downs like that. BOX maybe. Oh yeah, so BOX I was waiting for a break through this, considering we have a pretty this consolidation area right here. I mean, this consolidation area would be a point of interest because it could head back down and then retest it, or it could head back down and head back to this support line and head back up. And that's not too bad, considering the if you bought down here at the 200 day trend, especially back here. I mean, I've talked about this before. That crossover of the 200 days is a pretty good solid buy signal. So if you bought here, that's 33% in how many days? 37 days. So in a month and 7 days roughly. And same story here. If you ended up buying here and sold, let's say at the resistance right here, that's 20% in 12 days. That's really not bad. So yeah, oh god, that's about all that's going on in terms of BOX. I might actually add that to the list just to see where it's going to find support, whether it rejects or accepts this one. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That's the update.